Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking out these stores. And I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, we are taking out the store, which is the tier 7 Russian Soviet Union cruiser. We'll just go with Russian just to make it a little bit easier. Cruisers, so hopefully we can actually do really well. Now, this is where the store where the Russian cruisers really become difficult to actually use. So before I go into the stats, I want to say something really quick. Kind of ticked me off, but Wargaming kind of fixed it. Not the best solution in my opinion, but that is my opinion. As of yesterday, so it'll be 2 days for when this video goes up, update 5.9 came out. And so, for everyone that knows, basic survivability was one skill that they actually took off and just, you automatically have it. Don't need to research it with your captain skills. So you can use your captain skills for whatever you want. Can I actually click on my captain? So, that was always the skill everyone always got. Always got that first. Well, then, instead of, I don't understand why they didn't. They've done it before where they reset everyone's captain skills to where they can just go back and redo it. They just automatically gave you ship survivability. Now, yesterday, it cost you the full amount to actually go back and redistribute all your points. That was like, depending on how many points you had, it was up around 250 to 350, something like that. Well, today, at least at my time, they went back and gave you a discount. So for this captain, who is a, let's see, 1, 3, I'm going to say 10 point. He's a 10-point captain. Did I count that right? 6, yeah, 10. He's a 10-point captain. So 1 point is 10, or 1 point is 1 doubloon. So to reset, they discounted the balloons, so it only cost me 10 doubloons. Still, that's doubloons that I had to spend, but they did give you 100 or something like that, which, yeah, it's additional 100, and I didn't spend it all because I only went through the ships that I used the most, but it's still, I don't know why they didn't do it. Yes, they did try to rectify this, and they did say that they couldn't do it. They can't go back for some odd reason and redo it like they've done before. But there are certain ships that I did go back, like, say, the Kiev. I went back and got basic firing training. I went for this instead of this. I did optimally thought going for this because this decreases the amount of time when you switch, or decreases the reload time when you're switching shells, which the Kiev will do because sometimes you'll switch from HE to AP, especially when a cruiser or a battleship starts throwing you broadside. So beneficial. But I went for basic firing training because it gives you minus 10% to the reload time of main battery guns with a caliber up to and including 139 millimeters. So that brought down my reload time by 0.5 seconds. Yes, it's not that much. Over time, that would be beneficial because I would have 9 seconds. I would have 2 salvo outs, while in 10 seconds you'll have 2 salvos out. So that's why I went for. Some ships I didn't opt to go for the other one. Like for the stores, I just stuck with the basic survivability because you can't do this because you don't have aircrafts. This might be beneficial, but as far as I can tell, at least for right now, the stores and the Chapyev and the Donskoy, I think is the tier 9. It doesn't have a lot of AA guns. Now that might, I might change my mind. I might go and get this, which increases your AA damage by 10%. And the other choice was expert loader. But once again, I rarely would be switching that quickly. That would be beneficial. So that's why I didn't go for that. So I think Wargaming could have done a little bit better because they could easily, maybe it's something I don't know of, or maybe I don't understand why they can't, but I think they could have just given everyone instead of us spending our money. honestly, to buy doubloons to redistribute. Because we put a lot of hours into this, and we want a good game and a good captain. So, anyway, enough said. That's my spiel. Let's go ahead and... So, the stores has a hit point, and this is, probably should point out, a fully upgraded stores. Because when you first get her, she only has a 15.2 kilometer range and a max HP of 27,900 with additional secondary guns. But once you upgrade, get to the B hull, you lose those 2 guns, but you get more A defense, which is nice. But your health does definitely increase to 32,200. Now, the armor is pitiful. It's 16 to 75 millimeters. So your armor is still incredibly paper thin. So do not show broadside, but I mean, it happens. Main battery, you have 4 main turrets, 3 barrels each, 3 guns each. Reload time is 8 seconds, so a little bit slower than the Bajani, but that's not too bad. Turret time on the guns is 22.8 seconds. Max dispersion is 138 meters. Almost said millimeters again. So that is pretty precise. Max HE damage is 2,200. AP damage is 3,300 if you can penetrate, because the shells are 152 millimeters, or sorry, the guns are 152 millimeters. So they're definitely a lot smaller than the Pensacola or the Miyoko, which all have 203 millimeters. And that's kind of the issue you'll be running into, while the other cruiser lines get much larger. And the German. I always forget the German. All 3 of them have much larger barrels than you. But you do have a fairly decent range, because you have a range of, I think it was 16.8 kilometers. And the stores does not have a fighter craft, so you're always stuck with the spotter aircraft. You're always stuck with that, but that is beneficial because then you can snipe at range. And this is kind of what the stores does. It's really good at sniping at range. Secondary, you have 4 dual 100 millimeters, which also act as your AA defense. They're not bad, but you don't have a lot of them, but that's usually what cruisers are like. Now, torpedoes are once again the oh shit torpedoes. 4 kilometer range, reload time of 101 seconds. So they're okay. I don't think I've really used them. I'm trying to think if I ever have. Max damage is 15,100. So not bad, but not extremely useful. AA defense is terrible. I will say this straight up. It is terrible. You have 4 dual 12.7 of the KM2Bs. You have 6 quads of the 46K, which are these little guys right here, which have a range of 3.5, while the 2Bs have a 1.2 kilometer. And your duals has a 5 kilometer, which this is why it's... So if you're ever up against a CV, and if the CV is the same tier, which I think it now is the case from now on, I don't think they don't do low tier CVs anymore. There might be an exception. I might be wrong on that. So you really are kind of at the mercy sometimes. You do have defensive AA fire, which can be beneficial, which will throw off the aim of dive bombers and increase the dispersion of the torpedo planes. So beneficial to have that, yes, but your AA is something not really much of a threat. Maneuverability, she is fast, 35.5 knots, will keep up with a Japanese cruiser any day. Turning circle radius is 900 meters. She's terrible in a turn. The rotor shift time is 7.1. I think it was originally... Let's quickly check. Yep, it was originally 9.9 seconds. So very slow to turn. That's the one bad thing about the stores, is she has terrible turn time, terrible turning circle radius. Detectability by range on the sea is 12.9 kilometers, and by air is 8.1. So, not the most stealthy of ships, but not the greatest. So, I don't know. We will see how she goes. I haven't had a particularly amazing game in her, so we're just going to go take her out, and I'll show how she plays. I will see you guys in just a second. Alright, everyone. Welcome back to the first battle. Well, technically not the first battle. We are currently playing on Trap, and just to point out, Trap is actually different. This is one of the few things they changed in update 5.9. Now the spawn is a lot closer to the... Oh, hello, Turpits. Where the fuck are you going? Now the spawn points is closer to both A and C. So quicker to get over to these, and that means A is actually something people generally will start going for. Now, we have a Independence, North Carolina, 2 Turpits, Fuso, New Orleans, Mogami, York, Shchors, Stores, Cleveland, Fabuki, and a Farragut. On the enemy team, there is an Independence, North Carolina, 2 Turpits, Arizona, Hipper, Otago, 2 Pensacola's, Fabuki, Mahan, and a Farragut. So, hopefully, this will not go bad. Last time, I actually lost connection. My game kind of froze up. It was weird. Hopefully, it recorded that, so I will try to show that off. So we're gonna quickly make our way over to A. I think that would be the most wisest choice. And there is an enemy Farragut, and I don't think we're gonna get there in time. There is a friendly Cleveland that just rounded the corner, and hopefully we'll be able to take him out. Let's see. I don't want to show off where I'm at right now because possibly getting citadeled. And that's really the big issue with the stores, is the very paper thin armor and very easy to citadel. So that's one thing I don't like. So we're gonna make our way around this island, try to help take out that Farragut, and then help take on the enemy team as well. It does look like the Farragut popped smoke, and I'm half tempted to kind of rush him. But the Farragut does have decent torpedoes. Farragut's a tier 6. Doesn't have the long range, but at that close proximity, his torpedoes will reach me either way. So if we can sneak up on him, we might get the jump on him. Hopefully we can get him when he's turned away. And that's kind of how he looks when he was last seen. We don't see him. He was heading back north, but he's still in cap. Still kind of hoping, probably hoping that we'll rush him, which I'm kind of really tempted to rush him. I know that's not very smart, but I want to be aggressive. And the store is more of a very passive. It doesn't do a really good job in close combat. Maybe if we fired our torpedoes. Let's see. Around this island. Around this island a bit more. And sure. Why not? Maybe could have done a widespread. Gonna turn in just a bit, slow up. Maybe catch him off guard. Hopefully the smoke is dispersing. Yes, the smoke is dispersing. We're gonna turn hard. Better yet, let's just let the Cleveland take all these. Which I'm actually very fine with. Now he spent all his torpedoes. There we go. Very nice. Thank you, Cleveland. You did a fantastic job of being a meat shield. Lovely. Alright, let's go ahead and slow up a bit. Maybe. Might actually just kind of stay here. Let's go ahead and slow up all the way. and just kind of fire at range. Yeah, he's backing up. So I did use my spottercraft. This will definitely help us see and be able to fire a lot fire a lot further away. There we go. Not getting a lot of damage with it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna back up a bit and bring my back turrets around so we can have a bit of extra damage in. And fortunately, it looks like he is no longer being spotted. Good. Use our defensive AA. Probably not the best solution, but that would definitely help take out the fighters that are currently focusing on our friendly dive bombers. Oop, oop, oop. It looks like he might be going for us. Start turn N. Can we focus that last fighter group down and help our CV? A little high. I hate this. I really have to say, I hate this angle. It is very hard to actually use. At least in my thoughts on this. Alright, let's go ahead. Bring up. Speed up a bit. I mean, there's no reason why we should push forward. Our team is definitely winning. I know this is very passive. This is not as exciting as what people would really want to see, but this is how the score should be played. But he's almost out of range, and our spidercraft is no longer able to give that additional range. Alright, we're gonna move forward a bit. And we do have all through caps, which is extremely nice. Which is definitely giving us that lead. And our team's doing really well. I'm very happy with this. Alright. I don't think I'm going to get in range of this North Carolina. Now, we do have the speed on him. So we should be able to start closing the gap. Especially if he turns in like this. Can we get a little bit more? There we go. Alright, let's bring our back turret. Or we can just lose sight of him at completely, which is very unfortunate. Alright, now let's start firing away. And the high explosive on these stores is actually pretty decent. You do have a decent fire chance if we can actually land our shots. There we go. See, the damage isn't the greatest. I've noticed I usually get around 300 to 700 when you're facing off battleships. And I'm trying to get some damage in. Let's see. Yep, he did fire at us. I'm going to go ahead and start slowing. Let's speed back up. Whew. Alright, I'm going to start turning away after I get around these islands. Because this is very dangerous to be broadside to battleships like this. Yep, I'm going to start turning away. I don't want to present a really nice target for them and get a lot of citadels and die early. Alright. Might switch over to the turrets. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And he's looking at us. Oh, finally we got a fire on that North Carolina. Wondering when. Whew. You gotta love the turrets' dispersion. Look at that. We got almost 6,000, almost 6,500 points of damage. And we could not get that much damage on the North Carolina. Alright, yep. Time to turn. We're getting some damage in. We got a fire. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alright. Let's bring our front gun in. And let's go ahead and start speeding up. And I'm going to start turning away. Because, yep. Here comes the turpuses. Shots! This is probably going to hit us. Ugh. I mean, not the worst thing in the world, but... Yikes. That's one thing I really don't like about the Russian cruising line, is they cannot take those hits. I mean, granted, any cruiser going broadside can't take hits from a battleship, or even other cruisers. But the Shchors just armor is pathetically weak, so it makes no chance in our opportunity. But this is actually going to be it. Holy crap. Alright. I think we did pretty good. Probably, like I said, it was very passive, and that's kind of how you have to play the Shchors. At least as far as what I can tell. Now we gained 177,377. Now this isn't first win, so that's why it's not quite as high as far as experience goes. 2,208 and 111 free XP. We did 35,855. Just for some odd reason, the RNG was not being very nice to me. But we did pretty nice. Let's see what we did on team score. Probably, well, we got second. Not bad. I'm satisfied with second. That's not terrible. Detailed reports. How much damage did we do? We got 35,855 total. Main guns caused 26,293. And let's see, fires caused 9,100. So fires is really where that is at, because that's almost a third of the damage that you cause. Very beneficial. All right, credits. Like I said, after everything, we earned 113,082. Not bad. Not bad. I'm still getting used to the Russian line, and hopefully it actually turns out better. But from what I've heard, it kind of goes downhill until at least the Donskoy or the Moskva. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, this is going to be it for this video. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.